you learn the language, the language is going to make you automatically use Nuwapu. So it's going from now you having to consciously use Nuwapu to talk to somebody to it being a subconscious function by knowing the language. You're tapping into a different level of understanding now. Or
right, because like growing up in the Ansar Allah community, Pops always wanted us to focus on the language. The information was more for the outside world.
Yeah, because he knew once y'all got a grasp of the languages, the more definitions you know, the less likely you are to be deceived. Why you think all of his texts, he didn't just give you the information, he showed you the transliteration, the translation, and then he told you what it really means versus the implied meaning. A lot of translation get lost with the implication of the native speaker not being able to be carried over the literal word of the translator.
So
it's like little ways that in Lil talk that you could, like for instance, Psalms 91, Psalms 119. One is in Lil, one is Enki. You can feel the difference in them when you read the verses.
Yeah, you can, because there's two different tones, two different vibrations.
Now, a person that doesn't know enough to distinguish that will be trapped.
Why is that?
Because they can't tell that these are two different people. They think it's the same one God from Genesis to Revelation. They don't know that it's a pantheon of individuals jumping around playing shuffle me up to try to hide which one is who. They had a steady one-upmanship of trying to get. Enlil thing is he want all of the hearts of the people to be focused on him as Yahweh or Jehovah. Enki thing is he wants you to know that on your inner self, and what's encoded in you through the Anunnaki DNA is higher awareness and ascension abilities. Enlil don't want you to ascend because you won't have to worship a God outside yourself. As long as he compels you to worship a God outside yourself, he can subjugate you. Enki is telling his people, which was the Sign and the Zulu, don't listen to that bullshit. Listen to what your inner self tell you, because prime sources speak through you through the ether, the 9 ether. Activate the 9 ether and subjugate the chaos and use it to your greatest advantage. Enlil don't want that.
Can you go into Anu versus non-ether and El Kalum? Because even though Anu is called the Most High, and I understand it, people think that Anu created the universe, but that's not so.
Well, Anu won his throne in hand-to-hand combat against Iliu. So that tells you he wasn't the prime creator. His position is the executive leader of the Galactic Council. That's what makes him the Most High. Out of all of the males on the Galactic Council, he's most loved, most respected. And when he got trapped down here, when Enlil made his bid for power on Earth, he tried to take Earth from Enki and Inanna. Inanna is a title, not a name. So when he made his move for the throne, Anu had already told him Earth is a mitochondrial planet and women rule first. He didn't like that, and that's what caused all of this chaos we see now between patriarchy and matriarchy, was the works of Enlil trying to push the patriarchal agenda on a matriarchal planet, and it caused the chaos we see, the disruption. Everything is going against the natural order. The natural order of Earth is matriarchal, right? I don't personally give a damn about either one of them. I want the power to go where the power belongs, because then the machine run the way the machine is supposed to.
Absolutely.
And if the machine run the way that it's supposed to, Earth is heavy.
So let's elaborate a little bit on the matriarchal society or the matriarchal rulership and why brothers are not really in tune with
Let me touch on Anu a little bit more, because a lot of people are like, why don't you talk more about Anu?
Well, yeah, please do. Go ahead.
Anu is like the old man sitting at Big Mama house on the porch that she married to.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck what nobody do. As long as Big Mama not upset, he cool. When Big Mama get upset, then he gonna send all of them boys that's working out in the barn and in the field to go into town and find out why Big Mama not happy. That's
Right.
where we at right now.
Right.
All of the masters in the history of Earth is reincarnated at the close of the age to close out any remaining or residual conjures in order, because you can't close the age and open a new age with the same old clothes on.
Right.
Right. So all that stuff had to be cleaned up. And Anu is the one who sanctions it at the end. Clean it up. She said, Big Mama said, clean it up, clean it up. And then he say, well, Enlil started this shit trying to overthrow Enki. So then who is the next heir in line? And they came to Tahuti, or what they call in the text, NEGPIFOR.
NEGPIFOR? Yeah.
Yep. So his turn comes on as remember the story of Loki being the son of the Ice Princess?
Yes.
That's the story of NEGPIFOR never being allowed to test his grit to see if he can claim the seat. If there was no male galactic seat for Earth until Enlil tried to take power, then they opened up seat 50 for Earth, for what we call, that's the God seat of heaven and earth on Earth. So when the galactic seat 50 opens up, now we have a person that has to come from the 40th seat, which is the Queen of Heaven and Earth seat, in order to claim it. And then he's got to have the bloodline of one of the boys, Enlil or Enki, on the father's side. And then he got to have the bloodline or the mitochondrial rulership right from the motherland, which would be the Queen of Heaven and Earth seat. Then once he gets to the opportunity to seize power, then he get put to the test to see if he can control his Shakti, his divine feminine and divine masculine simultaneously. And the only way this is possible is supreme balance. And the only way you can find supreme balance is you have to find a counterpart to balance off of. And the women always, the mother picked the heir's wife, his consort, his number one. The queen mother picks the queen. He don't got no say until he interact with her to determine if she what his mama recognized him to be with. At some point, he gonna realize that they've been holding whole conversations and meetings in his face, behind his back, using him as a go-between for information. So they've been talking to each other without never seeing each other, psychically, using him as the connector through his heart chakra. So Anu only want this shit to be put back the way it's supposed to be. He don't care who win, who lose, as long as the shit done right, by the book, by the rules. So the only thing he's there for is to make sure that them boys that's having the family feud don't get involved in stopping the transition by using nefarious means. And they didn't like that. Well, Enlil didn't. So when Anu got caught down here, so everybody knows, if you go to Japan, those are his people. Anu, A-I-N-U. They are his people, and they would send delegations to Kemet and to where we call the great temple of Quetzalcoatl in Mexico.
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl. Yeah.
So that's where they would go to be educated as priests of Anu, or the Most High. And his instructions is to do what's right by the laws of righteousness and restore the balance to nature. That's it. That's his only order. He ain't get no more orders than that. Most of the rules and regulations we go by are Enlil's.
Enlil is more militant.
Right. So when you see all of these streets and straight lines and regimented, that's Enlil's creation. And Enki is more with the concentric circles to the center and using the most vile soldiers out at the further reaches to keep anybody from getting in. And when you go back and read about Atlantis, you see that's the structure of the cities.
Absolutely.
Concentric circles to a center. We used to keep the matriarchs in the center, right? And the matriarchs kept the children with them, and then all of the soldiers in ranks would spread out to the furthest reaches of the city. So by the time you get to the inner city, if you can make it that far, you're a bad motherfucker. But it's all about different thinking patterns. So if you see the straight lines, you know that's linear logic. When you see the concentric circles, you know that's right brain abstract.
So why is it that brothers have a problem with the women coming to power and breeding the patriarchal?
They don't understand matriarchy, but feminism is their understanding of matriarchy. Feminism is not matriarchy. Feminism is patriarchy with women in the place of men.
Absolutely.
Matriarchy is predicated upon the care and maintenance of children for the future, because we see the children as the future in the matriarchy. But in the patriarchy, it's a dog eat dog, best man for itself, every man go your way.
Selfishness, individuality.
Right. And that's what Enlil brought. That's why they confounded the languages in Babel in order to be able to conquer the vastness of the globe. They couldn't do it using one language because we would all speak the same language. It would take us no time to argue online with the same, hey, this motherfucker don't belong here. But when you got different languages and you need translators to communicate across language barriers, then you can't quite see what you up against. But yeah, they scared of the matriarchy because under patriarchy, men is subjugated women and children and other men. And they feel that under the matriarchy, a woman is going to subjugate them. Women don't think like men. And that's the problem with most men is they expect a woman to behave and think like men when they in power, when the difference in matriarchy and patriarchy is this. Patriarchy is conquest at all costs. Matriarchy is be, but just be your best self. That's the difference.
So do you think that there is a specific qualification of the women that form like a matriarchal council, or how would you expound on that?
Well, one, they don't hold elections. That's the first thing you got to understand. The whole election thing that we've been seeing is a dog and pony show. It's a selection process and a survey. Under the matriarchy is predicated up on the work you do to earn your position. Most loved, most respected, moves highest in the society. So if you constantly doing shit that keep your ass getting lumped upside the head by motherfuckers, it's going to be a while before you be able to get your position.
So who do we elect female-wise?
We don't elect them. The women show love and respect to each other. And the woman that has the most matriarchs respect is the highest ranked matriarch.
She becomes the female Anu
on earth, yeah. And right now, most loved, most respected on the matriarchs with the blood ties to the land is Mother Khadijah from the Farrakhan wife.
Why is that?
Because she is the most loved and most respected of the matriarchs. She got more matriarchs under her direct call than any other woman on earth. That she could pick the phone up and call them and say, I need you to bring your clan. They're going to bring the whole fucking clan. Nobody on earth got more matriarchs ready to move at a moment's notice than she do.
Damn. So does it matter if we all do not subscribe to the same ideology and doctrine?
It don't matter. You under matriarchy, you can believe whatever you want to believe as long as you respect the respectable. You don't have to believe the nation doctrine in order to recognize who the women pick as the woman that they love the most. So imagine this. You got a house with 5 sisters in it, right? And them sisters is going to 4 of those sisters is going to have more love for one of the sisters than they do for the other 4. or the other three. So she, in them five, she becomes the default leader they all love and respect. Because you got to have the love and adoration of the other people in order to move in positions in the matriarchy. That's how you keep a despot out of position.
So how should we teach the people to view Anu?
I wouldn't teach them to view him no kind of way. Because Anu want everybody to recognize, the same as Inky, he want them to recognize their inner God. He don't want them to worship or kiss his ass. That's Enlil shit. Anu wants you to know that there is a part of God in you that through self-discipline and training, you can be your own God and manifest your own life. That's what they call living your best life. The life you work for to create is your best life. The life that somebody gave you and you miserable living it is not your best life. Sometimes you are more happy living in the dirt by yourself, feeding goddamn wild animals than you do being a rock star on stage in front of thousands of people.
That's absolutely correct, because that don't necessarily bring you happiness. It brings you attention, not necessarily happiness.
So when you know what you want out of life, like I don't want shit. All I want is my children not to have to go through the shit we went through. That's the only want that I have. And that want ties back to a righteous endeavor to stop our children from warring against each other because somebody on the outside told them they was enemies.
How would you say that we should appeal to the youth now that gangbanging has become the new age religion for them?
First of all, it's a difference in the gang culture from what's really going on and what the media report. The media is only going to villainize the ones that they can villainize. Most gang members never even get talked about in the news. The police officer trained his son to see stuff that other people miss. Right? I forgot what the name of it is. Psych. Right? So his father trained him at an early age. That's actually a training technique developed under a hypnotist by the last name of Esther Brooks.
Go ahead.
Esther Brooks was the one who discovered that you can create a whole personality and use what you call muse to shift parts of the personality to the source in which you want to shift to. The person that you delivering the message to, this is the psychic spy program. The person you need the message get to will trigger the hypnotized person to deliver the message and never remember delivering the message. The other person to be hypnotized to receive the message, but they never know they received the message. All right. Now, the deductive reasoning part, when you in hypnosis, right? Let's go to Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, right? When they try to use deception on him, he stopped. And he noticed that there's something wrong, but he don't know what it is. All right. So in the Sako Mao monkey mind, if you can train your monkey mind, when it's seeing anomaly, you will perform what's called a backflip. You'll keep seeing the same thing come up over and over again because you in a perpetual monkey flip backwards. The purpose of a backflip is to keep you from being confused, right? Or walking into a hostile situation. Monkey sees snake, monkey don't move. Right? But the monkey got to warn the elephants that the snake is in the grass. Right? So what do the monkey do? Create a compelling spectacle for their laws of power.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. This shit is heavy. This ain't shit might be over some niggas here. I'm with you though.
Right. So the monkey started doing flips because that's why the monkey came in on the elephant back.
Okay.
Elephant is the symbol of the matriarch.
Okay.
The matriarch symbol is the elephant, but the baby that they can't control is the symbol of a monkey. Compared to the analysis. by deductive reasoning, right? So when you know that the monkey came in on the elephant back, go to Google and put monkey on that. Monkey came in on the elephant. Monkey on elephant. They're gonna show you this is an ancient symbol that we've been using in the culture to find out who the area is and who's responsible for closing.
Oh yeah, this is fire, right? That's a. I never like. I now this shit coming to me. This was in Lion King too.
Yeah, you see that picture? Oh, you just went from it.
The monkey sitting on the. He looking right here.
Mm-hmm. It's another one I like.
Right
that
here.
right there. Yeah, that I like that.
I'm gonna save it right
Might
here.
have to have you send that one to me.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna save it in your folder real quick. I can send it to you. Man, this is crazy, man. You be dropping all kind of shit every time. Come on, bro. Hold up.
Okay, now this is the game of the mastermind. Right? It's a board game. Because you got to be bored to play it.
That's right. Go ahead.
Right? Now, the monkey that came in on the elephant back as a baby grew up to be a gorilla when they thought he was only a chimpanzee. Right? Everybody else had him pegged wrong.
That's right. Go ahead.
Right? So the gorilla key is the fuck it key. Because I don't give a fuck about what them other motherfuckers think. I know what I see.
Right.
Okay, so now the mastermind works off of another game called Clue. Pull that one up.
All right, Clue. We got that one. Okay. Clue. Oh shit. So hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We dropping the brother Rod Hayes Cash App in the link if you want to show him some love, brother. He don't do it for the money, but this is what he do for his family. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. All right, go ahead, Rod. My bad.
Okay, so the clue is just the classic whodunit story.
Okay,
right?
I'm with you.
Now, I'm gonna see this. You see, it starts out with a capital C. Background is what color?
Blue.
That's
Blue
Big Crip.
Yeah.
L, right? L flips to a transitional team. That's why his ass dead now. Old ass lizard ass motherfucker. Stinking motherfucking bastard. Him and his gay ass punk ass son. But anyway, they wanted to use FEMA to centralize all of the resources and power of ours and then get a power to the Bush family in the garden plot. I don't think that was prudent for us, and none of the other chiefs on the land, even the low-ranking chiefs, didn't agree with it. So when they got rid of his ass, when they lethal injected his ass, because he had no fucking heart attack or no stroke and died, they lethal injected his ass just like they did John. Every motherfucking dirty deed did.
You heard me?
55 years. Where that motherfucker at? Matter of fact, I ain't even heard from that motherfucker.
I ain't heard from him either. I got the Kissinger report, read that mug.
Hey, shit. And that motherfucker right there, he probably at Gitmo right now sitting in the cell.
Probably. I ain't seen none of them motherfuckers, to be honest. Hillary, none of them. I know it's real.
So how can you increase your dreams? You need to get better rest, first off. There is supplements, this dream enhancing supplements. Yeah, so I don't have them all on the top of my head right now because it's a quick shift. If I was on the topic, they would all just come. But there are supplements to help you and teas to help you with your dreams.
Mugwort. Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah, mugwort, wild lettuce. It's actually a supplement I had. I don't know where it's at. I could have showed it to you, called Lucid. And it's a good supplement for giving you lucid dreams. It's excellent. Because I use that shit. Woo, boy, that was some good shit.
Somebody says Barbara Bush a man. Look like one.
Sure look like one to me.
A lot of these questions y'all gotta ask, they look just like what you're asking. Like, all you gotta do is look, oh yeah, that's me.
Shit.
Somebody said lotus flowers. I'm trying to drop some stuff. Melatonin is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says Inky coming to Earth.
I'm with the shrooms.
Yeah, I've done them once. I fasted because I did some research on it. So I fasted for like a week and then I did them. I only microdosed though. I was acting scary because I heard so many stories. I was like, hey man, I'm in the crib by myself. I didn't want to get butt naked and end up going down the hallways.
I don't think it affects you like that. When I used them, I didn't have any of those crazy. Most of the psychotropics when I take, they just make me cold.
Yeah, I was cold too. I got cold. I get cold when I smoke weed though. So
Oh no, I smoke weed. I be chilling.
I know you chilling. I'm talking about I be getting cold. That's why I don't really mess around with it. I do the edibles for the most part. I'm a edible girl. Yeah.
Shit, roll me up one. Look, I've been smoking my last at least 10 lifetimes. Why the fuck will I stop now? I stop. I can quit. I will quit. I have quit for years. But I like smoking, and if I lie to somebody and tell them I don't like smoking, I got to first lie to me, and I'm not good at lying to myself.
Okay, me either. I did that is something I'm not gonna do, won't do, can't do.
He lived up. So the answer to this question, if y'all looking at it, is he lived up to a covenant agreement.
He said, I saw a prism of rainbow light coming out of the top of my grandfather's house for over an hour when he passed away in 2009. What did that mean? He was a Tuskegee Airman.
I don't know if the Tuskegee Airman is related to the covenant that he made with the Creator, but whatever it is, between him and the Creator, agreement that he made, he lived up to the agreement. Because the rainbows is used to symbolize a covenant being fulfilled and one being instituted. So he had some kind of a spiritual arrangement with the Creator that he lived up to. So when he left, it left the sign of the covenant for the rainbow children. That's why the rainbow is the sign of the covenant, because when the rainbow children come, that's supposed to be the end of the rule of the Anunnaki on Earth. The rainbow children are the earthborn children of the stars who have no connection, or who have a binding tie to Earth, a genetic tie to the soils of the Earth. And when they come in all ethnic groups that's existing on the planet. So you thinking because I don't like them white folks, well, some of them is rainbow children that's here to clean this shit up.
I keep trying to tell them that. They don't hear it, though.
So you mess around and allow the hatred of Enlil's children to infect you, you're going to end up going with Enlil children.
Don't want to do
that. They can't stay here.
Spiritual response. What are your thoughts on spiritual response therapy?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by spiritual response therapy.
Me either. That's why I respond, because I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I never heard of it, at least not in that terminology before, so I can't really speak on it right now.
Yeah, y'all better stop going around here following this whole hatred of color and all this stuff. Listen, y'all, we operating out of love. Bottom line. Period. And if somebody ain't loving you back, then guess what? Go on and get on out their way, or make them get out your way. But either which way, to operate in love is what you should be doing right now, period. So, hey, I ain't gonna keep on saying the same thing. That's why I let you talk. Because they don't know how serious it is on everything.
Then the whole thing now is to overcome all of the traumas. That's the universal shadow work. The universal shadow work is to overcome all of the traumas, the racism, the sexism, the religionisms, the policies and practices that didn't serve anybody's interest but the ruling elite. All that shit we got to overcome. Stop trying to be like trying to keep up with the Joneses and be in your own lane. Let the Joneses have their lane. You can let the Combses have their lane, and you make your own fucking lane. Be your own individual with your own aspirations and ambitions to achieve your best life on earth. And you can plot your best life if you can see what it looked like. You'll get there.
Right. That part. I know that's right.
Them goddamn dirty ass niggas hurt my feelings so bad.
Man.
I said, I know what Pac meant when he said, I ain't never think a motherfucker that looked like me would shoot me.
Dang, I know that's right. My first heartbreaks came from my people that look like me. And I'm talking about not in a relationship. I'm talking about just everyday life. You know, being called, you know, black and this, and, you know, in a negative aspect. You know, it was my people that did it to me. It was never I heard probably a couple times, you know, derogatory things said from a white person when we moved to Arizona for the first time. But other than that, like, it was always my people and within, you know, my community where I had the most, you know, backlash and was talked about and things like that.
I done lived around our people, they people. I done lived around the Asians, Latinos, and the worst motherfuckers I lived around was niggas and crackers.
Yep, facts.
I ain't never had no problems out of no Mexicans, no Chinese, no Koreans. I ain't never had no problem out of any of them people mistreating me or talking down to me. But I definitely had problems of motherfucking being called nigga by them crackers and called motherfucking a piece of shit, nappy head motherfucker by the nigga. So I don't get into that shit. That shit don't got nothing to do with me.
I was just at karaoke last night, and everybody you just named was in karaoke, and I was kicking it with all of them. Okay, and they was embracing the hell out of me. So I'm the only chocolate person in there until this man came in there. Other than that, it was white, Chinese, Mexican. There, oh my goodness, they was just. I was like a bright light that walked in that place. First, it was all gloom and doom. I walked up in there, it was like a ray of sunshine for them. So well, I'm just letting you know I have a different experience in life.
Yeah, so I mean, we can look in the history books and cry over most of that shit is lies anyway. And here's something else. This is something else. Even if you look at the history books that they give us, every time we decided to revolt, rebel, insurrect, or uprise, it was always instigated by a pale face telling the nigga, you don't know you a slave?
Yeah.
Let me help you get free. And the niggas always sold the niggas out.
Mm-hmm.
The niggas is the ones that always sold the revolt, the rebellion, the insurrection, the uprising. The niggas is the one always sold it out, even if it's a fictitious story like Nat Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Still, the niggas that sold them out.
Yep. And Black Wall Street, shit, that went crumbling not because of the white people. Shit, they had the black people that was behind them to help that happen. So we can't keep on just going off of this narrative.
The same motherfuckers Kanye fighting.
Yeah.
They're the same motherfuckers.
That helped destroy Black Wall Street.
Same motherfuckers. They all of the discord from the land for the last 500 years was never us. Even the so-called gang wars, they infiltrate, they send their kids up in there with us like they want us.
Mm-hmm.
But you always gonna know them because they're gonna be like, man, if I was you, I'd shoot that nigga. And they take you all the way to the shooting. And when the shooting go down, that nigga ain't nowhere to be found. And when the police come, he the only motherfucker ain't in trouble.
Yup, you sure right. Ain't nowhere in them jail cells with y'all.
He already know. You know the dirty doing gonna get you locked up and he don't want to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're gonna take 2 more questions, G.
Yeah, let's go on up out of here. We sure been on here for about 3 hours, y'all. So if you missed some of it, just go back and replay it. We talked and covered a lot of things. B-Dell was on here earlier if you just getting on. Yeah, so if y'all got like Rod said, a couple more questions. Other than that, we gonna head up off of here. So we've been on here for a long time. Always, Rod, you know, it's always a pleasure to be able to build with you. But we build all the time. People don't know that, but to build with you on live stream and you know, to where other people can actually build with us as well.
Yeah, I like the atmosphere. It's the ambiance, is what they say. Ambiance.
Well, you know, it's the ancestral bloodline. You know. Somebody, I guess Kathleen wants to get in contact with you.
She can inbox me on Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger.
Okay.
On Instagram, I'm on the SikApe, TheSikape. On Facebook, it's just Rod Hayes. Hey, look, that shit ain't what y'all think it is. Y'all think that's giving a motherfucker a license to do a purge? Watch what happens. Niggas still gonna be locked up doing dumb shit.
So you said they still gonna be getting locked up doing dumb shit.
Yeah. Look, just because they see Illinois and several other states was refusing people a reasonable bond and violating their constitutional right. The right to a bond is a constitutional right. It's not a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have somebody that's blatantly defying the law under the pretense of authority, what they call acting under color of law, you have to change the law. It's too late for that shit, though.
Mm-hmm.
What
It's
you
the
want to
last
know about
question.
Genghis Khan? Genghis Khan got a whole lot of information attached to him. Half of these motherfucking $5 Indians, his kids, grandkids, great grandkids.
Mm. They got.
But then the ones, look, here go the kicker: the $5 Indians, that's the descendants of the Khans, Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, and them, that was took captive by Etruscan Romans and brought over here as slaves, and they passed them off as $5 Indians, seen who we was, and like, oh no, they're my cousins, nigga. We got one for you. And they the ones that crossed out the settlers that brought them over here in order to side with the organic people from the land. Yeah. So they agreed to hold our cultures and our secrets sacred until we can goddamn it get back on top. But the motherfucking kids of motherfucking the Huns and them Vedic motherfuckers from India that they brought over here,
man,
them the motherfuckers that want us to stop telling motherfuckers who the fuck we is.
I already know. They mad.
They wish we had just stopped telling motherfuckers we Indian. I ain't no Indian motherfucker. I'm an organic earthling from this part of the earth.
Aborigine.
You could be the Indian all you want to. I'm gonna be the organic motherfucker already here when you got here to give you your license to be an indigenous motherfucker.
Well, that was our last question. We're going to get off of here. We've been on here for a very long time. We've been on here 3 hours. We didn't clocked in, basically. We clocking out. But again, thank you, Rod. You know, we'll be in contact. Like Rod said, if you all need to get in contact with him, to message him on Rod Hayes on Facebook. And then can you give him your Instagram again? Because you got a new one, right?
Yeah, my Instagram is the SikApe, TheSikape. The SikApe. I don't know how long that's gonna be up. After that, I'm gonna be going to TikTok. Fuck them up. Because they blocked about 5 of my posts for Kanye videos.
Dang, that's crazy. They really on this push to try to block his messages. All right, y'all. Well, don't forget, what's our hashtag?
Yeah, he's right. Or
Kanye was
Kanye.
right.
Hashtag Kanye is right. Either one of them is good or both of them is better.
Period. All right, y'all. We finna get off of here. Have a great evening, everybody. Remember to stay grounding. Remember to go within. You know,
read the real time, and then I can do a mathematical probability. I can also do what they call a stellar alignment probability, according to the alignment of the stars. But for those who want more information, you can ask the oracle readers, the card readers, and the psychics, because at the time now, the energy level is so high that the accuracy levels is higher than they ever been in modern history. They haven't been this accurate since they was hijacked by the Romans in Greece in as oracle priests of Delphi. Right? They were accurate like they are now back then. And when the Romans took over Greece, the accuracy diminished until now it's returning. So you can ask oracles to do card reads on these current events and what do they indicate, and they're gonna all give you a general time frame to work from based off the movement of the energy. Some of them gonna be so latched on to the energy, it's gonna be like binge watching your favorite TV show. They're gonna keep coming back every day doing spreads on the same energy because they'll see the changes that fast in the oracle read. A lot of times when I tell people that don't understand what I'm saying, I say refer to the oracles and ask them if my information is correct, because what you can't see with the spiritual eye, you looking physically, they can see spiritually what I'm telling you, and then they can tell you physically what it's going to mean, because they're catching the energy as it's changing in real time, and they're using the focal point of whatever their oracle style is. Some tea readers, some read runes, some read cards, some read entrails, some read nuts, some read shells, but they all got their own way of interpreting those energy signatures that's coming in from spirit. Right.
Yes, and I'm kind of running while you're speaking. I'm running about 4 different readers on the information about 4 different ones I know do reading. So you might want to reach out. But there are folks that are on YouTube that are doing daily.
Yeah.
You know,
so my some of my favorite tarot readers is Blue Rose Tarot has uncanny accuracy. Also, I listen to Brittany Madison, who has an uncanny accuracy. She's actually done spreads on the because and she did some other reads too. I asked her to do a couple of other reads and she done them. Then you also, it's a sister on here who's looking at the organic side of the tribal side named Chief Janace. She's pretty intuitive and she's coming from more of an academic angle from her intuition, and she's sharing information. There's a couple more of them. I don't have them all off the top of my head like that because I'm horrible with names, as hard as I might be to. But those are just some of the ones that I listen to who has uncannily accurate information, and I can also use the information to go into more detail.
yeah. Well,
Right. So I can listen to a tarot spread and refine the reading by adding more definitions to more parts of the cards than the reader is actually doing.
wow. Yeah, so you got that background. You got that background. Listen, we are 2 hours and 39 minutes into this wonderful show. Not even gonna call it show, broadcast, information, broadcast update. And again, I just, I'm open, honest, transparent. Planned another show for this evening, and then we had to postpone it for another time. And at short notice, reached out to you, Brother Rod, who, as you said, you had just finished completed an assignment that Big Mama had sent you on, and you were like, "This is perfect." You know, I think you were thinking about update, and I called you about update. But then I was led to ask you, let's talk about you. You know what I mean? Let's talk about what you know.
Because a lot of people don't know the struggles that go with doing this work.
Right.
Like I'm doing fast sometimes 30, 40 days, 50 days in a row.
Fast? Did you say fast?
I'm fasting.
Fasting. Okay, that's what I thought you said. Okay. Yeah. So you break it up again though. See, I just can't imagine that unless that somebody, well, I do imagine that they are actually interrupting this broadcast, which has been absolutely, but you said for 30, 50 days, you're doing 50-day fast. Is that what you said?
All kind of fast. Some of them be 3 days.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. Some of them be 3-day fast, 7-day fast here, a 20-day fast, a 30-day fast. The longest one was about 50 days. And if you go back and look at my videos, you can see how skinny I was.
I remember seeing one with your. Actually, I think the picture that I used on here, you look real skinny. Your face was real thin. The picture I used for the, that you a lot slimmer, a lot more slender. Yeah.
Right. So I went. My physical condition is about 260 to 268. I had got all the way down to 180 something pounds. So I lost almost 100 pounds doing fasts alone. That don't got nothing to do with the meditations, the shadow work, facing the demons, and that's generational curse breaking. That stuff not easy. It sound easy, but most of us don't understand that we actually breaking generational curses by changing certain behavioral patterns that we picked up from our parents.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And yeah, and it's a lot of things you got to face, and then you have to all the. It's almost like Prometheus. It's almost like, well,
I always tell people.
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me, Dr. G?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a lot of work went into this. A lot of years of studying went into this. My library is ridiculous. I got like probably 20 totes packed up with books, and I'm not done packing.
Wow. And how long did you actually? How much time did you actually end up doing of that 18 to 50 year sentence?
About 16 years and 8 months.
Okay. So you did some time. So you had time to get your PhD.
A couple of them, because my favorite. Okay, so you have what you call your what you naturally drawn to is medicine. That's me. Me and my cousin Calvin were supposed to be doctors together. He went to university to become a medical doctor. I went to the underworld to become a witch doctor. We still became doctors. We just different kind of doctors.
Okay.
But I became a witch doctor to hold up our agreement that we both be doctors. This one of the things that entails is becoming a naturopathic physician by studying naturopathic medicine.
Right.
Right. Now, I don't have what they call the degree paperwork. So what I have to do is find one of us on the land from where I'm from to send the people to that got the paperwork. And that's Dr. Pittman here in Pontiac from Herbalife. You can find him on my YouTube page. If you put in Herbalife, you can't miss it. That's what it is. And it's in Pontiac, so you'll know it's the right one. But I refer people to him because he got the paperwork and he know the information that I know about health and maybe even more.